And now the walkout begins for the A final in the 400 IM. And one of the deepest and most talented fields in any single race that we will see tonight in Santa Clara. You have to start in lane 5 with the Aussie, Stephanie Rice, the world record holder, gold medalist from the Beijing Olympic Games, and also the Pan Pac champion from just last year down in Irvine, California. Katinka Hosszu, the Hungarian, just 22 years old, already has a win in this event on the Grand Prix Series. Came about a month ago in Charlotte, but took gold at the World Championships 2 years ago in Rome. So that's her big credit in the 400 IM. And looking ahead at the World Championships in Shanghai, just over a month away, and trying to refine that form here. The last Grand Prix event of this season. Andy Taylor, the American from nearby Stanford, the 19-year-old, will be in lane number 1. Jasmine Toski, a winner in a B final last night here in Santa Clara, she'll be in lane number 2. Caitlin Leverance, who will be on the U.S. World Championship team in this event, she's in lane 3. The aforementioned Katinka Hosszu in lane number 4. And Hosszu right next to Stephanie Rice, a 23-year-old Australian who is just so skilled, so adept, and so dominant here in the 400 IM. Rice in lane number 5, and she'll be right next to the American, Elizabeth Beisel, who's in lane number 6, also making up a portion of the U.S. World Championship team in the 400 IM. Julia Smith in lane number 7, two-time winner in the 400 IM on the Grand Prix circuit this season. And then in the final 2 lanes, Jenna Mangamelli, the 20-year-old from the University of Georgia, in lane 8. And next to her, lane 9, Madeline Dorado, 18-year-old swimmer for the Stanford swim team. And we move back to Elizabeth Beisel now, the 18-year-old from Rhode Island. Big event for her to really get a barometer and a sense of where she stands, just about a month away from the World Championships. Beisel, a little bobble in lane 6 at the start.
Yeah, and if she didn't come down and hold steady, they will DQ her. They obviously will not bring them back. They don't bring the swimmers back, so they will let her know at the end. We'll have to see that in a replay at the end, if indeed she gets DQ'd. Don't have any indication of that from up here. I'm watching the referees down below, and I don't see any conversation to that effect, but we'll have to wait. And anyway, she got off to a terrible start. You see her right there in lane number 6. She's dead last going to the wall. And it's a little bit unusual. She's wearing a regular suit. You know, earlier in the competition when she won that, or second in the 400 free and swam the 200 breast, she had a little bit more of a high-tech suit you see the other swimmers wearing that go down to the knees. But she's gone back to the regular suit style, and she's really fallen way behind in that fly. Now, she did that in the prelim. She was way back in the fly and then kind of worked her way back up to where Stephanie Rice, the world record holder, is by the end, but boy, she has really dug herself a hole here this first 100.
Butterfly in the books, now on to the backstroke, to be followed by the breast and free coming up here in the 400 IM. Stephanie Rice continuing to hold the lead. Jasmine Toski in lane number 2 right now in second. Andy Taylor next to her in lane 1. She's in 3rd place.
There's the Olympic champ right there. Right above her is Hosszu, the world champion, and then Beisel was 9th at the 100. She was dead last the very first 100. Really slow that first 100, and she backstroke's her best stroke. If she's going to make a move, I think the key for her is she has to do it here. She can't wait to do it the back half, not against Hosszu and Rice. This is not an easy field to come back on. 4 of the 8 swimmers in this field were in the finals at the World Championships, Steve, so this is a tremendous field. Julia Smith was 6. You got the 1st, 3rd, and 5th place finishers in Hosszu and Rice and Beisel, so this is not an easy field to come back on. Now, you see Beisel's come back a little bit on everybody, but not on Rice anymore.
Stephanie Rice has led from the outset. Madeline Dorado down in lane number 9, currently in second. Mangamelli next to her in lane number 8. She's in third here on the breaststroke. Now we have the Olympic champion, the world champion, and arguably the best American in the 400 IM in this field. That's what makes it so deep and so compelling here.
Well, we're just getting word now that there is no DQ. Beisel, boy, they really held them long on that start, but because there was not confirmation on it, there was no DQ. So Beisel's safe down, and she's really worked her way back into this thing, or at least for second. She's close right now to second. Hosu up there in lane number 4, and then Rice really completes control. Rice's best strokes, by the way, are fly and free. In the middle, she's solid, obviously, she's a world record holder, but if she has the weakness, it might be the breast. That's where everybody kind of looped up on her here, but I just don't see it here. I mean, you see Rice from the water, so really solid, nice line, good solid stroke technique, nice rhythm to her stroke, and really nobody in the picture.
Now Mangamelli in lane number 8 is in second at the turn. Caitlin Leverance, lane number 3 in third, but it's all Stephanie Rice right now in lane number 5. And when your best strokes are the fly and the free, the bookends of the IM, it has to give you a lot of confidence because you know you're going to go out strong and likely establish the lead. And even if they do gain ground in the middle portion, you know you're going to have that freestyle to make things up at the end and really close it out.
It's a good point you make, Steve, especially for somebody like Stephanie Rice, who's, by the way, the world record holder and Olympic champion, so knowing that she has that huge lead, not just a slight lead, a huge lead going into that last leg, really had to give her a lot of confidence, and she's going to pop up a pretty good time here. Now, Beisel is still kind of in the thick of things, but she's not even in it for second now. Really, the swimmer that's having a good swim is down there in lane number 8 in Mangamelli. She's really swimming well here and has a chance for second. So does Dorado down there at the very bottom.
Now it's a blowout for Stephanie Rice. She gets the win. Now the battle for second and third. It's Dorado in lane 9 second. Mangamelli in lane 8 takes third. That's a personal best for Madeline Dorado by a full 2 seconds in lane number 9. Terrific result to finish second, but Stephanie Rice, the Olympic champion, world record holder, and Pan Pac champion, third fastest time in the world this year in winning here in Santa Clara.
Good swim for the Olympic champion. Now you see the start. There is Elizabeth Beisel. Watch as she comes down. Boy, the referee really holds them a long time here. I think the key is you really have to come down and be set, and maybe he saw that they were not all set. I didn't really see too much of a bobble that would have caused any DQ. This is a great shot right here. Really good shot, guys. And she's kind of leaning back. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, Steve. That was a bobble. And really, that should have been cause for a false start. But the starter held them for too long, and they just didn't come to a conclusion that she false started.
Now the starter held them too long, though, so that's the reason there is no disqualification. Now Stephanie Rice, a wire-to-wire winner in the 400 individual medley. Madeline Dorado second, Mangamelli takes third in our first event of the evening here on Universal Sports. Okay. We bring you back to Santa Clara, and the winner in the women's 400 IM, Stephanie Rice, who now joins us from the pool deck.
Hi, Stephanie. This is Rowdy Gaines. How are you? Good job.
Thank you.
Do you feel good about that race?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I went 38 at Nationals, so really happy to go fastest time that I've done basically since surgery, and yeah, good time when we're especially untapered.
What was the key for you there?
I've been working a lot on my backstroke, but I think just, you know, for me taking out the start of the race and not sort of hanging back in the field, so I wanted to get out to a good start in the fly and just try and maintain it.
A lot of people think this might be a preview of the championship top 3 coming into this, so it really had to give you some confidence, not only to get the win, but to do it so well.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of girls coming through in the 4 IM, and it's going to be a really tough battle come Worlds, because I guess everyone's at different stages of their preparation, and some people swim well in season and others don't, so I'm stoked to go one of my best in-season times.
Well, that was a tremendous swim, Stephanie. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll see you in Shanghai.
Thanks so much.
So the world record holder, basically untouchable in the 400 IM, beating out Madeline Dorado and Dorado's fellow American, Medley. So Rice takes the opening event of the evening, and as we continue, the men in the pool for the first time in their 400 individual medley, and that's as we roll along from Northern California right after this.